Newtons? What's the first thing that comes to mind? Who was that Newton again? Seville Newton? That college football player? Or was it Wayne Newton, that American singer? Who was that physicist again? Isaiah? Heinrich? No, they weren't it. It was Sir Isaac Newton. That's right, that's where I heard his name before. Now, but in all honesty, if that name didn't come up when you heard Newton, then you were living under a rock unfortunately, or you were under the age of 7. Anyways, a TLDR for those who don't know who he is. An apple fell on his head and he formulated gravitational theory. Simple, right? And the Newton, represented by a capital N, in simple terms is the unit measurement for force. Or the technical term is the amount of force required to accelerate an object with a mass of 1 kilogram to 1 meter per second. Now why is this important, you may ask? Simply for the video, it's important. We are going to discuss a question that many humans ponder about during their sleep. How much fire you need to launch you to space? Yes, you heard that right. We are going to conduct a simple mass calculation that essentially shows how many farts you need to combine to launch you to space. Although impractical to ever achieve this, it is just to quench the thirst of those curious minds out there. Now let's start to see how many newtons is produced during a fart. According to Google, a fart roughly generates 0.2 newtons. Don't ask me how they got this number, I don't even know myself. And from this core page shown above, an average 62 kg person releases around 1,227 newtons when they jump, which in turn shifts the center of mass 30 centimeters upwards. Shout out to Andrea Winston for this simple calculation. That means that approximately 1,200 newtons would equal to an increase of center mass of about 30 centimeters. So if a fart generates 0.2 newton, simple math dictates 1,200 divided 0.2 would equal to 6,000. That means 6,000 farts combined would release the same force as a jump. So what's next? We now need to find how far space is from Earth. Google states that space is 62 miles or 100 kilometers vertically from Earth. If a jump shifts a person's center of mass upwards 30 centimeters, that would mean a person would need a total 10 million divided 30, which equals to 333,333 combined jumps for you to jump from Earth to space. Now if that is the amount of jumps needed to jump from Earth to space, that would mean 6,000 farts equaling one jump would require 2 billion farts to get from Earth to space. The average person farts 14 times a day, 5,110 times a year, and if the average person lives to 80, they would have farted roughly 408,800 times during their lifetime. Obviously I didn't account for any leap years, so it'd probably be a bit more. Even if you have all those farts combined, you wouldn't even be able to launch to space. You would go as far as a mere 20 meters above ground. That means you will need the combined farts of around 4,892 people to be able to launch to space. My name is Teson, and I want to thank you all for listening to my TED Talk. I hope you all learned something educational today about the world and that every time you fart, you're reminded of this video. See you next time.